Welcome to System Dynamics Online Tutorials. In this session we're going to cover receipt reversal correction. Under the distribution within the purchase order and under the processing we have receiving, we have stock receipt by purchase order and the purchase order receipt correction application. Correction reversal application. What this allows me to do is for a given purchase order that had a receipt done against it that was in error for any given reason, I can actually correct or reverse that given receipt back out of the system so that I can re-receive it at the proper quantities. As an example here, if I call up a receipt number, actually we're automatically put into query mode. So if I call up receipt 8135, or sorry, purchase order 8135, I'll see all the receipts that are against that, receipt number 492, and that happens to be the only one. What I can do is delete the record and commit to reverse the transaction. So if I wanted to start square one on this particular receipt reversal, if I was to delete the record and commit the transaction, then I could go back into purchase order stock receipt as if nothing had happened and actually re-receive it. Or I could make the given changes here. If I only wanted to do more receipts against the purchase order, I could take the final flag and actually reverse that final flag by, as stated down here, entering the reverse. And what the system would do would update that flag and it would make it available to me in the purchase order receipt. Or if it wasn't if the cost was different, I simply enter in the cost. Maybe the first time when I receipted this particular item for 8135, I put $2.50. It should have been $2.60. I simply change it here and hit commit, and the system will automatically take care of changing all of the entries, general ledger, etc., for that $2.50 cost and change it to $2.60. Likewise, any combination and even quantities, if it should have been 450, not 500, etc., then I simply change those quantities here, and I can even do quantity or combinations of cost and quantity, etc., and simply by hitting commit, the receipt number 492 is automatically taken care of, the purchase order 8135 is automatically taken care of with those changes that I've made to this particular receipt. What the system does in behind the scenes is actually take this receipt for you, back it out, and make the required changes here, and actually generates a new receipt number. So there will be an audit trail as to what the receipt was, what occurred on the system for 8135. So you can actually see what the system actually changes it to. So if we take this particular receipt 492 that we did for 500 and we actually get into 450 and was the quantity, and we actually want to reverse the flag so we can do further receipts against that, and the cost did change at $2.40, we have this information all entered here. Again, the receiving date could be totally different. It may have been the 28th of January that I actually received that. So we'll change everything here, and it may have been instead of stock, quality, gratis, or return. I could actually change that here, and I've changed the quantity, the purchase to stock factor, if it happened to be different, could be changed. We'll accept all these changes simply by hitting commit. What the system does is do a receipt correction in progress, and it takes care of everything in the background and it comes back to the system. If I was to query up that same receipt again, 8135, I believe it was, and query all the receipts there, we see that I have receipt number 494. I also have, in the system, and it is actually set to the changes that I had, 450, 450, and the $2.40 changes. I also see that the final flag is not set, so if I was to go back into the stock receipt by purchase order, it would be made available to me again, 8135, and I actually query this particular purchase order up, and I can see that I can do further receipts, and the original one which we had in there on the receipt that had the full 500, and I switched it and reversed it back out to the 450, I now have 50 more to receive. Final flag is undone, and it's made available to me to do further receipts against. From an audit perspective, if I look at that receipt inquiry, I can actually call up this purchase order receipt 8135, and I can see the 492, which was the original for the 500, go into the system. The system automatically, with my receipt reversal correction application that we're covering today, it reversed it out, the 493, and it made the required changes and created me receipt number 494 with the quantities that I actually had, the 450, and the change in cost from 2.5 to 2.4. So as you can see, the audit trail is there. The receipt is done for me in behind the scenes, and it's automatically receipted, done, and confirmed at the system level. And then the new receipt is the one that I'm working against. This purchase order receipt correction reversal is a very powerful tool in the sense that it takes care of all of the general ledger transactions that were done at PO receipt time and automatically backs them out and sets them into the system for me so that I can quickly and easily change errors, especially like purchase to stock factors and costs and this final flag reversal, etc., against the purchase order receipt. And that covers the purchase order receipt correction reversal.